The music never stops. Remembering Bob Weir, 1947-2026. The psychedelic lights of San Francisco grew a little dimmer this weekend. It is with a heavy heart that we report the passing of Bob Weir, the legendary rhythm guitarist, vocalist, and founding member of the Grateful Dead, who transitioned peacefully on January 10, 2026, at the age of 78. According to an official statement from his family, Weir passed away surrounded by loved ones after a courageous battle with cancer. While he had successfully beaten the disease itself, he ultimately succumbed to underlying lung issues. His final months were a testament to his resilience. Despite his diagnosis in July 2025, he returned to the stage at Golden Gate Park just weeks later to celebrate 60 years of the Dead's legacy. A life lived in the Jam. Born Robert Hall Parber on October 16, 1947, in San Francisco, Weir was adopted by Frederick Cornelius and Eleanor Emma Weir. A self-described black sheep, Weir struggled with dyslexia in school but found his true calling in the folk scene of Palo Alto. At just 17 years old, he met Jerry Garcia on New Year's Eve in 1963. Together with Ron Pigpen McKernan, Phil Lesh, and Bill Kreutzmann, they formed the Warlocks, which soon evolved into the Grateful Dead. As the kid brother of the band, Weir developed a singular style of rhythm guitar, incorporating jazz-influenced chord voicings and a counter-lead approach that became the bedrock of the band's improvisational sound. Family and roots. Bob Weir is survived by his wife, Natasha Munter, whom he married in 1999, and their two daughters, Monet Weir and Chloe Weir. In his later years, Weir often spoke of the importance of family, a stark contrast to the nomadic, on-the-road lifestyle he maintained for over 6 decades. He also famously reconnected with his biological father, John Parber, later in life, adding a poetic layer to his own history of identity and belonging. The discography of a legend. While the Grateful Dead was primarily a live phenomenon, Weir's studio and solo contributions remain pillars of American rock. Ace 1972, his debut solo album, featuring Dead staples like Playing in the Band and Sugar Magnolia. In the Dark 1987, the Grateful Dead's commercial peak, featuring Weir's vocals on the hit Hell in a Bucket. Blue Mountain 2016, a late career masterpiece of cowboy songs that reflected his deep love for Americana and folk. Bobby Weir and Wolf Bros. Live in Colorado 2022, showcasing his evolution into an elder statesman of the jam world, backed by orchestral arrangements. Navigating the long, strange trip. Controversies. No rock icon lives for 60 years in the spotlight without a few ripples. Weir was briefly fired from the Dead in 1968, along with Pigpen, for not keeping up with the band's musical evolution, though he was back within months. In more recent decades, he faced occasional criticism from purist sectors of the fanbase for his slower, dragged-out tempos in later tours. However, Weir always maintained that the music needed to breathe, famously saying he looked forward to death as the last and best reward for a life well lived. The legacy. With his passing, Bill Kreutzmann remains the sole surviving original member of the Grateful Dead. But as Bobby often said, the songbook was designed to last 300 years. From the tie-dyed streets of Haight-Ashbury to the sold-out residency at the Sphere, Bob Weir didn't just play music, he built a community that will carry his rhythm for generations to zero come. Rest in peace, Bobby. May the 4 winds blow you safely home. Hashtag Bob Weir, hashtag Grateful Dead, hashtag Dead and Company, hashtag Bobby Weir, hashtag Rest in Peace, hashtag Jam Band Legend, hashtag Chero TV, hashtag Music History, hashtag Fare Thee Well, hashtag Deadheads.